Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Blip Pod. My name is Joey,
And I'm Nolan.
and we have some I'd say this is a fun conversation we're about to have today. We're
Yeah.
talking about the Deadpool 3 pitch that Ryan Reynolds gave Disney. So anything with Deadpool is fun, so I think we could have a pretty fun discussion about this. And after that, we are going to have a short discussion about the upcoming Pirates of the Caribbean movie that's going to be female-led.
Sorry.
The video of the of the Pirates of the Caribbean and the ship that's just flying in the air.
Yes, I love that one. Oh,
That's the best.
they took that down off TikTok. There was this old video.
I was so mad. That was literally like stuck in my head for a while. I was like, that has to be the greatest pirate I have ever seen.
The ship
And
just
then what do you
explodes.
say? It presumes so, or something like that.
It would
Then
seem
a ship just flies
so.
across the sky. Kidding me? That was probably Captain Hook's ship, dude. Like some pixie dust.
I didn't. My brain took a couple seconds to see to know what you were talking about. Jeez, I haven't seen Peter Pan in years. Yeah, no. Different. It's a different type of pixie dust makes people think that their ship is flying.
Yeah, it wasn't actually flying. It was.
Yeah, no. Let's cue the theme music.
Alright, so today, Ryan Reynolds has pitched to Disney about what he would like to do for Deadpool 3, and specifically to help out with the MCU and clearing up confusion about old XMen characters
Yes.
transitioning into the MCU.
Especially because they currently have they've got the X-Men original timeline, which is with Patrick Stewart. Then they've got the new one with James McAvoy, and then tentatively Logan is a different timeline. They never really explained why they referenced the original trilogy stuff, but also referenced some of the other stuff. So they have a lot of crap they gotta clean up.
Yeah, I love the X-Men, and I think they have good movies, and I love the characters. I think their biggest problem is just their timeline is super confusing. I never understand, like, especially with Wolverine's character. Like, he has, like, 3 different origins within their franchise. Like, I don't understand it fully. Like, things get changed, but at the same time, they didn't get changed, so.
Here's the problem
I'm
with
not
the
so
X-Men. It's a weird problem to have, but I think the biggest problem with the X-Men movies is they started early. They were the first X-Men franchise, and by the time that Marvel, the rest of the MCU, really started to grow, they were already over 10... Like, first Avengers came out, the X-Men had been out for 12 years, and you have... I mean, Ian McKellen and Sir Patrick Stewart are already old actors by that point, so it's not like you can use them forever. So then they reboot it like twice because, they just got too early of a start. They started off the superhero. It's like that. Oh, I forget what it's called. Freaking my business professors would shoot me in the face. You know the theory when it's like whatever invents the new technology is doomed to be the first to die as better versions take its place.
Yeah, that's pretty much with everything.
Yeah.
Something always new is going to take
Exactly.
what was originally started.
Like, honestly, up until quarantine, I thought that was going to be Netflix. Like, I assumed that Netflix was going to die off between HBO Max and Disney Plus, and then everyone got stuck inside their freaking houses for 4 months, and you're like, oh.
Oh, man. Yeah. But, I actually think that... I actually really like this pitch, because... First off, I think Deadpool is the best person to clear it up, because he can break the fourth wall.
Mm-hmm.
And so he could literally just straight up and say, yeah, I'm with Disney now. Fox is gone. None of that actually happened. That's all dead. And we're starting off brand new. He could literally just look at the camera and say something like that.
Yes, he could.
But also, to make it fun and like the typical Deadpool funny. It's he wants to go. This is also based off, kind of based off of a comic.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants to have Deadpool going to traveling to kill off the Fox X-Men characters that aren't coming to Disney.
Yes.
So basically, just to clear up, so they know who's transitioning to Disney or not. If he doesn't kill them, then they're basically gonna be around and they're part of the universe now. And if he kills them, that means they don't exist. Everything that happened before didn't happen. It's not gonna affect the MCU at all. So that's basically just Ryan Reynolds clearing up the confusion and also making it really funny by him just going around killing all the old superheroes.
It's based on the Marvel comic, which is called Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. And I've read that comic, and I'm not usually a kind of brutal, violent kind of guy in terms of comics or movies, but it is a fantastic written comic. My only thing that I think Disney's not going to fly with this is that comic is brutal. And not in like the action movie brutal, but in the like visceral and kind of disturbing brutal. Like in the comic, what happens is there's this kind of evil-ish therapist that has mind control powers that is trying to cure Deadpool of the fact that he is like, because you know in the comics and in some of the versions of the like animated stuff, he's multiple voices in his head. So the whole thing is the psychiatrist or whatever is trying to get rid of the voices, and she gets rid of every voice except for the voice that tells him to kill. Like she gets rid of his conscious, or he gets rid of his conscious, he gets rid of his humanity, all this stuff. And then Deadpool realizes he's in a comic. So he goes berserk and he starts killing all the Marvel characters. And then it's so dark. Freaking Professor X reads Deadpool's mind for the first time. Deadpool never let him do that before. So he reads Deadpool's mind, realizes that he's in a comic book, and that every single horrible thing that ever has happened in his life has just been done by a couple guys in a room for the amusement of children. He goes crazy, kills himself, and then Deadpool jumps out of the comic, kills all the writers, only to realize he's in a comic written by writers about writers killing writers, and then just continues to just kill normal, innocent people in the comic book world. It's like the next level of
that kind of sounds like my Rick and Morty pitch.
This basically
where they
you're
find
not
out
wrong.
they're in a TV show. But I honestly don't think Disney is gonna even pull from that comic or base it off of it. I think what they're just pitching it to as the idea of that. I think they're just pitching the idea. I don't think they're gonna take any plots or any events or anything that happened in it. They're just taking the idea of what they did in that comic.
I think
to clear everything up,
this would work better as almost like a Marvel short, or maybe like
Disney Plus.
Yeah, like I can't see this being a full. Like, what's the plot of a movie where he kills the Fox universe? You know what I mean? There's no plot there. It's just kind of it's a needed explanation. But if they released it as like a Deadpool short, hell, they could even do it. If they can't afford Ryan Reynolds, they could even have him smash into comic book animation style, and he does like they could do it like half animated, half live action to save on budget, and they could do something like that super easy. They have a Deadpool project, so everyone will watch it. That's something. If they said Deadpool is coming to Disney Plus, if an original Deadpool content with Ryan Reynolds comes to Disney Plus, people will see it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Those movies and basically anything Ryan Reynolds is in now makes money.
He's their market.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think they would ever make the entire movie the plot of that. I think if they don't do a short or Disney Plus series where they do that and they put it into a movie, I think it will kind of be like what they did in Deadpool 2, the post-credit scene where he's just fixing up the timelines and just going around killing people. I think they're going to do something in that kind of style, but probably not a post-credit scene. They'll probably do it right in the beginning of the movie. Like, that's like the first 10 minutes of the movie is him doing all that. Or maybe even his title sequence, because usually his title sequence are kind of creative and funny in those kind of ways. So he could literally just, beginning of the movie, just like walk up, come out of like a shower or something, look at the camera like, "Oh, hey, what's up? I'm just enjoying my new home here at Disney, and I'm going on my first mission of clearing up the timelines of Fox." And then he just like takes them along and just kills everyone, and then the plot of the movie starts.
I wonder, and I know Marvel has had sort of a problem, not a problem with this, but has been kind of battling this. Disney, the company of Disney, has super specific rules about what can and cannot be shown in a property licensed by Disney. So I wonder if Deadpool will be released as part of the MCU, and they market it as part of the MCU, but it's technically, you know how they kept the 20th century moniker? Like, they kept that name.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll release it under that moniker because they can't break the, like, I know Marvel, like Disney, you're not allowed to show, like, certain amounts of blood or, like, graphic beheadings or stuff, which is actually, weirdly enough, Endgame almost, there was, like, controversy about
They did
Endgame.
that with Thanos.
Yeah, because they cut his head off, and that's, like, a weirdly big no-no for Walt Disney. So I wonder if they'll keep making, maybe not our Deadpool movies, but very, very, very hard PG-13, and then release them under the Fox moniker.
Well, yeah, that's what I've been hearing reports about that, and I think they are doing that. They're gonna have their rated R movies just be under Fox's Fox Spotlight. Is that what their name is now? Yeah, it's gonna be under their name. So even though Disney's the creative behind it, it's not marketed as Disney, so they could keep, because being rated R for Deadpool is his thing. Like, Deadpool PG-13 is not what it is as rated R, so I think it'll be hard to transition to kind of like cool him down and transition from rated R to PG-13. He might lose viewers because of that, so I don't think they're gonna. Even if they do tone him down, I don't think it's going to be drastically.
I don't know, because I felt like even if you watch the first Deadpool as compared to the second Deadpool, most of the comedy and humor is, obviously it's R-rated, but it's not like so like let's say beginning of Deadpool, you remember like the beginning of Deadpool 2?
Mm-hmm.
When he attacks all the like Yakuza guys in that bathtub?
Yeah.
Literally, they've got all their junk swinging about, right? If you just keep them in their underwear the whole time and just limit the amount of blood coming out of their bodies, it technically is PG-13. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah. Like, it's that simple. I don't know if there's... Because even the second Deadpool was drastically dulled down as compared to the first one in terms of, like, even swearing, honestly. I rewatched the second one recently, and I was like... There's way more plot in this movie than there was jokes as opposed to the first one. Don't get me wrong, I really like Deadpool 2. But my point was, with the exception of a couple things they probably couldn't show, like the amount of blood, there's a chance people, obviously, they would lose, you're right, they would lose some adult viewers. But let's be honest, if it's in the MCU, you'll immediately gain so many viewers.
Even more.
Yeah. And let's say, okay, so they lose some adult viewers who are like, oh, I see Deadpool for the R. But then they're like, well, you have to see Deadpool 3 for the next MCU crossover. So then you have to go see Deadpool 3 anyway.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also I think they'll be getting a younger audience for Deadpool, because there's probably plenty of people that wanted to. Like, when the first Deadpool came out, my mom didn't want me watching it, even though I wanted to watch it because it was rated R.
Same with mine, yeah.
Yeah, so... you'll have the younger, normal, like, MCU audience of those kids that are able to watch Deadpool now, too.
Yeah, totally. And that will probably gain... I mean, let's be honest. Kids and young adults do drive... now it's a little less so because we're, like, 10 years into this. But they're a good portion of MCU's revenue stream is kids. An even bigger portion of Disney's revenue stream is toys. And they weren't actually allowed to make toys for Deadpool because of the rated R. Like the same reason they weren't allowed to make any Joker related merchandise, which I didn't realize, which was really strange. But I think if they go making Deadpool PG-13 is purely financial.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if they give me Deadpool content, even if it's slightly dulled down, it's better than them deleting it from the universe. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, they released that PG-13 version of Once Upon a Deadpool, and I think it got good reviews too. It wasn't really like a huge difference from the original rated R version, and
yeah.
and just once again, just being Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds in the MCU. There's nothing else you could ask for, because they have plenty of funny movies like Guardians of the Galaxy. They're PG-13 and they're hilarious, and I don't see why Ryan Reynolds wouldn't be able to do the same thing.
Also, they could even do it where he's in the MCU, but have it just be like, because Deadpool is within the X-Men movies universe, right? But aside from a couple throwaway jokes and a couple visual gags, there is no actual connection to the rest of the X-Men movies. You know what I mean?
No.
It's a different
It's basically
Colossus.
him just joking that... It's basically just jokes of him saying how he's never around the actual X-Men.
Yeah. Like,
Oh.
it could be something simple as they want him in the MCU, but just in case he's a little too violent for normal audiences, they won't ever tie him into any big crossover event.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a possibility.
Unless... but apparently I think the next big crossover is going to be an X-Men film.
I don't know if... Would they put him in an X-Men movie?
I don't know, maybe.
I feel like the only time he appears in X-over crossovers in the comics, a lot of the time he's actually teamed up with the villains or got hired by the villains. So maybe they could do something like that, which would be a little confusing for listeners. Dude, did you see the Deadpool head they're selling now?
No, I did not.
Hasbro Marvel Legends is selling it's a robotic Deadpool head that has 600 plus lines of pre-record dialogue based on certain. It's basically it's almost like a smaller version of an AI based on motions and things. So you buy the head, and the storyline that it tells you when you buy it is that it's Wade Wilson's head and it's been cut off from the body. But so you can carry it around, and if you shake it, and it's specifically 18 plus. There's actually on the box, it's not for children, and then things swears and stuff. And you
That's
can,
sick.
I don't know how to put this. You can shake the head, and if you shake it up and down, it says some things about you're shaking the wrong body part or stuff. Or you can put it in the fridge and then tell it to scare people if the mask senses light. So when the fridge opens, it will just start screaming at whoever opens the fridge. I'm if I had enough money to buy that, holy hell, that would be so fun to have.
Jesus.
They just released it a couple days ago.
Sounds hilarious.
Yeah, I know. I think you're right though, because anytime Marvel merchandising or comics or sometimes the games gear up and start specifically talking about one character. There was that whole thing where Marvel started to supermarket Moon Knight for no apparent reason about a month ago, and then all these rumors started swarming about the fact that the Moon Knight show was going to be made and that Keanu Reeves might be in it. So I have a feeling now that they're kind of heavily marketing Deadpool again, I have a feeling that there's something Deadpool in the works.
Of course. Well, especially when they're doing these teases with Ryan Reynolds taking pictures at Marvel Studios in those interviews, so there's definitely something happening.
You know what would be equally funny? If he wasn't in talks, but he just happened to be in New York, and he was just taking pictures of the Marvel building.
That would be a typical Ryan Reynolds thing to do.
I do feel like that would be something he would do and be fuck everyone.
Yeah. Well, I think I have everything I needed to say about that. If there's anything else you want to add.
No, I rambled enough, I think.
Well, then that brings us to the Pirates of the Caribbean. So they are... there's rumors about having a female-led Pirates of the Caribbean movie with Margot Robbie as the main character.
So here's what confuses me, dude, about this. So about a year ago, it got sort of released. It was rumored, but it's confirmed. They had set pictures that they were filming Pirates of the Caribbean 6. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Then there was all these rumors about Karen Gillan might be hired as Karen Gillian might be hired. Nebula as the new kind of like Jack Sparrow. So I assumed that was for Pirates of the Caribbean 6. And then they released Margot Robbie is going to be in a lead of Pirates of the Caribbean movie. And you texted me that, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But then they released that the project would be written by the lady who wrote Birds of Prey, which confused me because they had already started filming 6. So why were they hiding a writer? But apparently this is not it's sort of a sequel. It's a wholly original Pirates of the Caribbean film that takes place in that universe, but does not include the main cast of characters.
Yeah, so... See, well, I remember they were saying in the 5th movie how they had the 2 young kids, the new 2 characters in the movie. They were using them to test out, to bring out a new characters to carry the franchise, but they didn't get good reviews and the audience really didn't like them that much, so that's why I think they scratched that idea of having them trying to carry it along, and they're trying to introduce new characters to carry the franchise.
I think because there's this whole thing where they're like, is Johnny Depp box office poison? Like Disney there's this very strange back and forth with him and his ex-wife Amber Heard, because he was originally accused of abuse allegations, and so he got fired from a bunch of stuff, and then it turned out that she was also abusing him, but they don't know if they were both abusing each other or if it was like a weird mutual thing. So there's all this like, is Johnny Depp box office poison? He's not. If you put Johnny Depp in a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, as evident by the last couple, even if it is trash, people will still pay for it. I saw the last 2 Pirates of the Caribbean movies, even though they were objectively not as good as the first 3. I still saw them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And just Johnny Depp's character alone is just enjoyable.
Yeah, even if there's a crap plot and nothing makes sense and all the jokes are bad, Johnny Depp being as weird as hell and walking around like a goose that got hit in the head with a brick is funny.
Mm-hmm. But my favorite thing about the reports of having Margot Robbie as the lead is that when we were sitting in the theater for Birds of Prey, and she's just running away from everyone, trying to kill her, and she's just like one of those. She literally fights just like Jack Sparrow's, like clumsy and very lucky, and just everything just went her way, and that's exactly how Jack Sparrow was. And then I turned to you, I'm like, she reminds me a lot of Jack Sparrow, and then she pulls out the white flag, parlay, and then you start laughing your ass off, and then now we're getting reports that she's going to be the lead for Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, everything literally just came around of what I said.
It's again, this goes into the whole thing, like, future us might be running some shit, because you're right, no, in the theater, I think we even mentioned it in our review from months ago, so it's not like hearsay. You can look it up, Birds of Prey review, that was a pretty good one, but, that's episode like 2 or 3, I think. But yeah, no, you literally turned to me and said she's female Jack Sparrow, and then they literally hire her as female Jack Sparrow.
They're listening to our podcast.
Maybe they're one of our 3 listeners.
We're secretly running the industry, our future selves.
By accident, yeah.
Yeah, once we get there, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, we were right. It was us.
If we ever find a time machine, I'll be like, I knew it!
We rule the world.
We shall. I got backstory. Do you have anything else to say on this thing?
No, I don't think so. It's just a quick little mention about that.
Honestly, there's not too much news that's happened this week.
Yeah, next week we'll probably have a bunch of DC news again.
Probably. Though, apparently all the Marvel Disney Plus things are revving back up, so potentially there might be some Falcon and the Winter Soldier news.
It's supposed to be, it still says August release date, so.
Yes, there's also some, in keeping my ear to the pavement, there are some rumblings of Pirates of the Caribbean, not Pirates, what the hell did I just say? There are some rumblings of Falcon and Winter Soldier news next week.
Hopefully. It's bound to come soon.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So everyone just make sure to check in with us within the next week or two, because if there is something that's dropped, we will be talking about it.
Oh, 100%. Especially when it comes to Marvel. As we wrap up, I
Mhm.
want to give an honorable mention to Amazon, who delivered me a life-size replica of Mjolnir today, and I have had way too much fun with that thing.
Oh yeah, that's buy a second one too.
I'm gonna write a review on Amazon that says something on the lines so like I'll be like 5 stars because of the looks and it looks nice, but this product I was surprised when my postman
It's good
handed it to
TikTok.
me.
Good TikTok prop.
Yes, when my postman handed it to me, I was like, damn, he must be pretty worthy. And then when I picked it up, I was like, something is wrong.
Well
But
worthy.
yeah, apparently, it's got a very low. This is the Mjolnir's younger brother. It's a very, very, very low set of standards.
Well, yeah, we had Brie Larson pick it up.
Yeah,
Just joking about Captain Marvel being worthy. Like, nah, get that crap out of here.
oh my goodness, I saw some breakdown of like how much all the Avengers actors got, paid for their first outing, and I felt bad because there's a huge problem in the industry about the wage discrepancy between men and women, and especially with actors and actresses. But forget even just men and women. Scarlett Johansson as compared to Brie Larson on their first outings, I was like, they did Scarlett Johansson wrong. Like, she is an emotional core for multiple films, and compared to even like Brie Larson or some of the other people who did not have as much say as she did, she got gypped out. Obviously, they're still making millions of dollars, so the cries are falling on deaf ears. But good lord,
Just be like, if I didn't get paid enough, so I can't buy two private islands, I could only buy one.
you joke, dude. Do you know Nick Cage owns a private island and 2 castles?
Nicolas Cage, probably a treasure. What's that? What's his movie? National Treasure.
National Treasure. He's out there hunting. That's what he's put his whole life. That was a documentary project he was working on.
Yeah. Man.
Okay.
Well, I think we're good.
Yeah. Without further ado, that wraps up this segment for the week. I have someone, and of course, in the course of my doing the podcast, my mother was calling me, so I'm like, sorry for a second there. I was like talking to you, and I hear beep 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 beep, and she was trying to cut it. I was like, no. That'll be our next, and introducing our next guest host, my mother.
Nolan, did you take out the laundry from the dryer?
I'm like, Mom, I'm in a different state.
Uh,
What was I going to say? Actually, she knows a surprising amount about Marvel, so that would be pretty funny. Regardless, without further ado, stay nerdy.
and positive.
And check us out on The Blip Pod on all the social medias. Check us out on YouTube at The Blip Pod, at Spotify, Anchor, and a bunch of different podcasting sites that are all listed in our Instagram profile at The Blip Pod, all one word. And that's all we got for this week.
Until next time.
Hasta la vista, baby.